Muslims hold deep respect for the figures and revelations mentioned in the Bible, such as Moses, David, and Jesus, who are considered prophets in Islam. However, a key difference between Islamic and Christian perspectives lies in the belief about the preservation of earlier scriptures. While Christians view the Bible as divinely inspired and authoritative, Muslims generally believe that the Bible, in its current form, has been altered over time. This belief is rooted in both Islamic teachings and historical considerations. The Quran's perspective. The Quran acknowledges the Torah, Torah, Psalms, Zabur, and Gospel, Injil, as revelations from God. These texts, in their original form, are seen as true guidance and light. However, the Quran also criticizes certain communities for changing, concealing, or misinterpreting parts of these scriptures. For example, verses such as Surah Al-Baqarah 2-75 and Surah Al-Ma'idah 5:13-15 refer to people who distorted the words from the proper places or forgot a portion of what was revealed. From an Islamic perspective, this suggests that while God's revelations were initially pure, later transmission and human involvement compromised their integrity. Absence of original manuscripts. Muslim scholars also point to the fact that the original manuscripts of the Torah and the Gospel are not available today. The earliest complete manuscripts of the Bible date centuries after the life of Moses and Jesus. During this long period, oral transmission, translations, and editorial changes took place. Muslims view this historical gap as evidence that the texts could not have been preserved word for word in their original form. Variations and contradictions. Another reason Muslims believe the Bible was corrupted is the presence of multiple versions and translations. For example, the Catholic, Protestant, and Orthodox Bibles contain different numbers of books. Additionally, some passages exist in certain manuscripts but are absent in others. Muslims argue that if the text were perfectly preserved, such variations would not exist. These differences are seen as a sign that human hands have altered the scripture. Doctrinal changes over time. Islam emphasizes pure monotheism, Tawhid, and Muslims often argue that certain Christian doctrines, such as the Trinity and the divinity of Jesus, are innovations that were not part of the original gospel. They believe these theological shifts reflect human reinterpretation rather than the unchanged message of God. From this perspective, the Bible contains elements of truth but has also absorbed beliefs that contradict earlier prophets and the strict monotheism affirmed in the Quran. The role of the Quran as final revelation. Finally, Muslims believe that God sent the Quran as the final and preserved revelation, safeguarded from alteration, Surah Al-Hijr 15-9. The Quran is viewed not only as a confirmation of previous scriptures but also as a correction to restore the original message that had been distorted over time. Thus, the belief in the corruption of the Bible is tied to the Quran's role as a protected, definitive guide for humanity. Conclusion. Muslims believe the Bible was corrupted because of scriptural evidence in the Quran, the absence of original manuscripts, textual variations, and doctrinal changes that developed over centuries. This belief does not mean Muslims reject the Bible entirely. Rather, they hold that it contains remnants of divine truth but cannot be relied upon as a fully preserved revelation. In Islam, the Quran stands as the final, unaltered message of God, serving as the ultimate source of guidance for humanity.